My friend, tonight it is over. Tonight is the last night. Tomorrow is the beginning of what will most certainly be the most incredible uh, effort ever, the most incredible election that I know of in recent memory. And it has captivated every aspect of us here in New York City. And I know that many of you are interested in it. You've shown interest, you've indicated interest for reasons that I think are obvious. And it is something which is so fascinating, so fascinating. I want you to jump on board. First of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure you please subscribe to this channel. I can't say it enough. I can't say it enough. That's what gets us going. That's what puts us into the stratosphere, so to speak. And I also want you to subscribe, of course, and to like this. It's important. I hate all this talk about begging. Please like it. Please like it. But it's true. It's the way it goes. In any event, my friends, let me see if I can explain this to you. First, as a native New Yorker born elsewhere, I am absolutely flabbergasted over the fact that nobody knows anything about elections. Nothing. To them, elections are about, I like this guy, I like this guy. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Let me see if I can explain this. Zohran Mamdani is a disaster. We don't know who he is, where he's from. We don't know what he's about. He doesn't know. He was an assemblyman, like a state representative. He missed, they say, 80% of the vote. He knows, what's the expression? Dick about anything. He's never had a job. He's 34 years old. And he, ladies and gentlemen, the phrase is full of shit, royally toxic levels, absolutely devoid of any mentation other than being just full of it. Unbelievable. Says things that are just nuts. It's like somebody said, I think I know what socialism is, kind of. I'm not really sure. I think I know. So I'm going to go out and spew some stuff. And he's a joke. Everybody, Elon Musk, everybody's saying, vote for Cuomo. We'll get to him for a moment. But it's all to stop Elon. It's all to stop Zohran. Even Elon Musk said, he called him Mundummy or something. I like Rob Zombie, which is a great, by the way, nobody pronounces it. They call him Mamdani. It's mom, like mom and dad, or ma'am, Donnie Osmond, Donnie Hathaway, Donnie and Marie. Okay, you got it? It's simple. They can't say it. Mamdani. Nobody says it correctly. I think it's on purpose. I don't know. So he comes out of nowhere. And remember, a couple of things. Whether you like it or not, New York is 70%, New York City is 70% Democratic. So that's just it. Now, if Curtis Sliwa, for example, were running in Mesa, Arizona, no problem. There'd be no problem. He'd be elevated. Because people don't understand that this is not about anything other than demographics. It's not that Curtis wouldn't be good. I like Curtis. I've known him for over 30 years, about 32 years. He is a friend of mine. Absolutely, positively. Great guy. Absolutely. Positively. 100% great guy. True. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And what's so terrific about him is that he adds a level of excitement. He is, I think, the best speaker there is. One of the smartest guys. He came off at first years ago kind of as a kind of a jadrul, and he wasn't. Kind of a Hunts Hall, Leo Gorsey, kind of a malaprop, it's just, but he was smarter than anything anybody could even imagine. True. Absolutely, positively, 100%. A good guy, married a wonderful woman named Nancy, who turned him on to feral cats and saving cats. And cat is a Jesus Christ. He is what is called an ailurophile. He loves cats, kitties. Wonderful. Great. That's terrific. Enough with the goddamn cats already. He's got like, they have a small apartment. He's got like 15 cats in this little tiny. Can you imagine the smell of that? Dear God. And there's no chance of toxoplasmosis. I hope not. I hope not. In any event. By the way, toxoplasmosis is pretty much for pregnant women. And one never knows. So if that is in the offing, I hope they're very, very careful, because especially around cats and litter boxes, it's a very, very, very scary thing. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, good. Now, so he's at Fort. No, sorry, he's at Fort. I just did a piece on Diddy, which is a fascinating story. He is running as a Republican. Now listen to how this works. He is a Republican, and he, very interestingly enough, as part of this Republican thing, has been steadfast, and everybody at first loved him. People said Curtis is the guy, which leads us to Andrew Cuomo. Everybody hates him. And what's happening is, the reason why they hate him is for a couple of reasons. Shall I go on? Shall I go through this? First of all, he has the charm of an executioner. He is one of the creepiest fellas anybody has ever seen. The way he speaks in a style and in a, I don't know what the word is. He speaks in a kind of like a patois or something. That is so weird. He talks like this in a kind of a slow voice. And he's a slow voice. And he talks like this. And he's weird. He's weird. He's just a strange guy. And he's never even run. We don't even know if he has an office. Does he? We don't know. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. He's horrible. Nobody likes him. He's a Democrat. Has been his whole life. His father, Mario Cuomo, was a Democrat. He's a Democrat. He's always been a Democrat. But he lost to Zohran Mamdani. So he now, Andrew Cuomo, is running on an independent party that nobody can say. I don't even know what it is. The Free at Last party, or I don't know. Get up and fight, sit down and shut up. It has a name. And that's what's unique about New York politics. You can run on multiple parties. Curtis is going to run on the Republican ticket and the animal welfare ticket. I think, okay. So we have, to recap this, Curtis Sliwa, Republican, Andrew Cuomo, Independent, Zohran Mamdani is the Democrat. You got it? You got this? That's what's happening. Now, the turnout. This, I think, the largest turnout, 2 million, I forget what, was during the time of John Lindsay. We have in our hood, see, you normally have, it's very interesting, you normally have a regular precinct. And then you have, whenever they have early voting, you go to another precinct. I don't know why. Sometimes the other precinct is okay. Sometimes it's not. I don't know. But we went on a Saturday. We couldn't believe the first day of early voting. We went in, could not believe what we saw. Could not believe the number of people. It was unbelievable. We saw today down they had hot dog trucks showed up, to accommodate. People said we can make a lot of money. Now, when this happens, as you know, people are trying to say, well, what does that mean? What, pray tell, does that mean? Does that mean that younger people are voting? Older people are voting? Who knows? Who would be showing up? Would it be the more devout voters? Would it be? I don't know. What would it be? I don't know. See, we can sit here and play this game all day long. This reminds me of when I was doing trying a case, and sometimes the jury would come back quickly. And we say, what does that mean? Does that mean guilty or not guilty? Who knows? It never made any sense. It never made any sense. The bottom line is that I have never, ever, ever seen or heard any of the exciting stuff. Now, I happen to work, as you know, on WABC overnights, Monday through Friday, 1 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is in terms of pure firepower, it is just an incredible amount of time because it's in the spirit of kind of like Art Bell, and it's just an incredible time. So anyway, people are calling up. That's all they talk about. Now let me explain to you. When Curtis Sliwa was going to be the nominee for the Republican Party, well, we said, great, let's vote for him. And let Andrew Cuomo, he'll probably get it, against Zohran Mamdani. Nobody knew who the hell this guy was. Nobody heard of his name. So anyway, all of a sudden, guess what happens? Andrew Cuomo runs and gets his ass kicked. It's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? What is going on? This is weird. This is the strangest thing ever. How could this be? This doesn't make any sense. So then you say, okay, well, now what do we do? Now we've got Curtis that people, I think, originally loved. I did. I think he was terrific. And if I had my choice, if you told me, pick anybody you want, just pick the person you want, and they'll be mayor, I'd pick Curtis. Without a doubt. However, the numbers aren't there. Why? This is Manhattan. It has nothing to do with who's better, who's worth it. Nothing. It has nothing to do with it. Nothing. So people right now are feeling this sense of, you traitor. I can't believe it. Why don't we all vote for Curtis? And I'm saying, because, and I've tried this a million ways. We have to stop the bleeding that is Mamdani. Imagine you're in the battlefield, and somebody's shot. And what you do is you don't know what to do, but there's this stuff you can buy, and you can like shove it into the wound. And it may not be sterile, and it may not be perfect, but by God, is it effective? And that's what you do. You hold your nose and you say, Jesus, God, I hope this works. Because when somebody is bleeding to death, you don't worry about things like infection. You just don't. I mean, it's important, but that's not what you consider. You worry about saving the patient. So right now, a lot of us are saying we want to vote for Cuomo, even though, we'll get to this in a moment, we hate Cuomo. This is where we are. And Curtis is saying, what are you doing? I thought you loved me. But we do love you. You're our friend. Why aren't you voting for me? Because we're throwing away our vote. Giving you the vote is a waste of time, because our goal is, rather than seeing you, Mayor Curtis, we want to see Mamdani shut down. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. It's very simple. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. It's the simplest thing in the world. Nothing personal. Like in The Godfather, Michael Corleone told Sonny, It's not personal. It's business, honey. It's business. It is that simple. It's business. And what people don't understand, and they don't understand, and most people don't get it, is that sometimes in life, like, you got to do things for something even better, something even bigger. And that's precisely what's happening now. Now, when I tell you this, there are people who view this as the absolute betrayal. They think of us as being a Judas. And I would tell Curtis what I'm telling you now. I love the guy. I wouldn't vote for my sister. I wouldn't vote for you. I tell people, don't even vote for me if I can't win. Because the fate of New York City depends on Mamdani not winning. Does this make sense to you? I hope it does. I truly, truly hope it does. I hope you understand it. I hope that you're one of the few people who can grasp it, because a lot of people can't. It is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, at WABC, oh my God, is it? Oh, the tension. The tension. I mean, not the management is fantastic. The management has been clearly in favor of Cuomo. Not because they love Curtis. But this has been this sense of, how dare you? How can you do this? It's like, what, are you kidding me? Now remember this. Now Curtis cannot believe what's going on. He's got there's some, I don't want to say fights, but some pretty wild fisticuffs, verbal, if you will, going on. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. I mean, it is unbelievable. So Curtis is saying, and he said, Curtis, please drop out. He goes, I'm not going to drop out. He said, but Curtis, you're being selfish. You're being pigheaded. And what people don't understand is that Curtis hates Cuomo with a passion you cannot believe. With a passion. When Curtis ran against Eric Adams last time, he lost by 40 points. Curtis! And Eric Adams is retarded. Retarded. There's no way. Curtis Sliwa is this hardcore, hard-fighting. And let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this right now, and I want you to listen to me. Curtis Sliwa is no joke. Curtis Sliwa is not in any way a joke or any kind of... he's as serious as you can get. But because he wears a beret, because people love to always mock everybody, Saturday Night Live also have Curtis out to be a joke. If you think he's a joke, you simply don't know how things are going. If you think he is a joke, if you honest to God think, if you really think he's a joke, you don't know how it works. He is the only... Let me ask you something. Do you have anybody in your town whom you would consider to be a Cape Crusader? Anybody? Do you? Anybody? Anybody? No. You've never seen. He is a Caped Crusader. He is this bigger than life kind of Batman. Let me say this again. You can laugh all you want. You can, I'm dead serious. He's like Batman. He's a guy who made his bones, so to speak. He made his bones on the streets of New York, in the subways. He was originally a manager of a McDonald's overnight, I think in the Bronx. He's been shot. Oh, according to him and according to the testimony, the Gambinos tried to kill him because of what he said about John Gotti. And you can hear Mikey Scars. You can hear a lot of other people. This isn't a joke. Now, of course, Saturday Night Live, they joke about it because they don't know, they wouldn't know, reality if it bit them on the ass. But the bottom line is simply this. We're talking something very, very serious. Now, I want you to understand something. I'm telling you the truth. Anybody who says Curtis will win, listen, you don't know what you're talking about. Now, let me ask you something. What do you think this is? Well, is it about polls? It's not about polls. First, listen to Uncle Lenny over here, okay? Let me tell you a couple of things. First, and before I do that, I want to mention just very quickly our sponsors. Number one, I hope you watched a video I did today, because when you see the SNAP riots, this is like Hunger Games, the SNAP benefit riots, the SNAP, right? When food becomes, do you see what they're doing? They're telling you this is another beta test. They did the beta test and they tabletopped it and war gamed it regarding COVID, and now they're doing it with this, and they're paying close attention. What better way for there to accelerate problems in the city than to have people going after each other and killing each other? So that's why Prepare with Lionel emergency food. Remember, food, water, energy, and ammo. That's what you need. Listen, watch what's happening. Preparewithlionel.com. Number two, very quickly, we have the most important thing in the world. Our friend, our great friend, Mike Lindell, needs your support because he's put out the greatest product ever. Anybody who's not who here is a MyPillow family? They're simply the best. Go to mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, and see for yourself. That's it. The links are in the description here. Now, first, polls. There are polls and there are polls. There are some polls from universities who don't really have much of an academic program. They don't really have a sports program. What they do is they'll have polls. And you'll hear things like Quinnipiac College, the poll, and not that it's a bad one. I'm not passing judgment. I'm just giving you an example of sometimes the Quinnipiac was one. You have and you now have a lot of these poly markets. These are betting pools. Do you know the difference between a betting pool and a political poll? Do you know this? Do you know this? Anybody know the difference? Anybody need an explanation on this? Because the two have nothing to do with each other. You understand that, right? Two, our good friend, look at this. Our good friend, by the way, Bobby Tandow, who says, hi all, hope you're doing well, L. Literally, bruh. Thank you, Bobby Tan. And of course, our good friend Freedom says, epic World Series. My Dodgers finally woke up with a pulse. In games 6 through 7, Jays clearly hit him out. Thank you. Love my Lionel Cup. Thank you, sir. And that was one of the most incredible things ever. And also, Uncle Dickie says, Uncle, you are a gift to New York City humanity. Thank you. Thank you. You're very, very kind. Very, very kind. Now, let me just explain a couple of things to you. First, a poll. Do you want a John McLaughlin poll? That'll cost you. He'll tell you almost to the penny what the results will be on any given time. Now, then, depending upon the sample size, it may cost you $1 million, but they are good. And those are internals. And they hide those and covet those like you can't believe. Then there are the ABCs poll, the Emerson College poll, the Poly Market poll. A poll is based upon getting a sample size which represents the smallest sample size available to get the most accurate response. In a nationwide poll, you may have 750 people. 750, 1,000. Why? Because you find the smallest amount of people in the most representative of samples to make sure the demographics of men versus women, whites versus blacks, and Republicans and Democrats, you make sure you have the right poll, the right mixture, the right sample size, and you put them all together, and you base your result on that. Now, adults, when you see a poll that says, we asked adults, are they likely to vote? No. So I can walk into the Short Hills Mall and say, you, You an adult? Yeah. Are you registered? Who do you like? Well, I like, I don't know why they go to New Jersey for this, but because of Jack Ciattarelli. They call him Chittarelli. It's Ciattarelli. Doesn't matter. Some call him Citarelli. I hope he beats Mikey Sherrill. Mikey. They thought it's a woman. They thought it was, call him Mickey. Again, they can't get Mamdani. They call him, anyway. A betting pool is different. That's people who are talking about the action. Who's betting what? The lows, the highs. Just because numbers are favored doesn't mean that they're going to win. It means that the betting action is such. Now, usually, for the most part, sometimes they will correlate, but not necessarily. So poly markets don't mean, and there's polls left and right, and everybody makes money in polls now, so forget the polls. Number 2, take everything you want about polls, throw them out, because when you have such incredible, this frisson of activity, the numbers don't jibe. Okay? Understand? That's exactly right. Now, Andrew Cuomo is the worst. Killed 5, I don't know how many elderly people. I mean, it was horrible. Ordering COVID patients into senior citizens. I mean, it's just ridiculous. A grope, a lech. I hate men who use their position of power to go after a young girl, somebody in their staff, somebody who maybe needs the job, somebody who likes the prestige. When a man does that, if you can't seduce a woman like everybody else, then you're not a man. You're some predator, and you're only using your position. You're the governor of New York, by the way. More women are throwing themselves at you, but what they do is, a lot of these guys are so predatory in their nature, they don't want a woman they feel competitive with, because they want a woman they can torment and scare and control. And that's a different story. That's a big, big story. Anyway, so that's that. He ordered no bail, no jail, turning people loose. He came up with the stupid congestion pricing. If I pull the Yugo, a stretch, out of the garage, and I drive around the corner, it's $9. $9. I mean, you're good. Inside my own. So he's the worst, but he's better. He's better than Mamdani. And Mamdani has numbers now, and we don't know. They say the numbers have, the gains have been narrowed. I don't know. He's closing the gap. I don't know. I don't believe any of this stuff. I don't believe the news. I don't believe anybody. I don't think anybody knows what they're talking about. I really don't think anybody knows what they're talking about. I think what we're seeing here is something which is more important. I think we're seeing this very strange attempt for people to try to get in on the story, because they realize that their jobs are almost over. You do know what's happening. ABC, CBS, it's all changing drastically. Barry Weiss, who was anathema, so to speak, to a lot of the usual suspects because of her very strong, a very powerful position on Israel. It's very interesting. They are saying that she is showing a very aggressive stand regarding CBS. And she might be trying to lure like a Brian Kilmeade over, that she wants to go more conservative. It's all changing. It's all changing drastically. So what I'm saying is, what's very interesting to note is a lot of people are doing anything to try to maintain some kind of competitiveness, because this is it. This is also important because Zohran Mamdani is a half-ass, they call him a socialist. He's not. He is a, socialism cannot work in this country. You have to revamp everything. You can try your best. You can have a a welfare state where I'm giving you free stuff. I'm giving you free. That's not communism, not socialism, not Marxism, not any of that stuff. But people use that term like they use the word fascism, like they use the word psychopath, like they use the word conspiracy theory. They just say these words. It's also important if you're trying to poach young people, don't call them a communist or a socialist, because socialists may not be a problem from them. They may say, well, what's wrong with socialists? They don't know. Remember something. If you want to go after somebody, tell me your plan. Zohran Mamdani, one of his plans is he wants to have free buses. Free, so mainly to protect the bus drivers. He wants to give free buses. Do you know every Rikers lunatic, every ambulatory schizoid nut is going to jump on board? Oh, dear God. He's out of his tree, out of his mind. People aren't even following the rules now. They're not even paying the fares now as it is. They'll be barbecuing and dancing and screaming and yelling. Some people will live. They will live on the bus. He's out of his mind. And people say, okay. He wants to have government stores. Government stores. Let me tell you something. The man who owns WABC and his wife, John and Margot Katzimatidis, have been billionaire, one of the best businessmen ever. And he started in the grocery stores, Red Apple, Gristedes, D'Agostino's. The margin the margin of profit is so slight, and he's the best. And you're going to try to compete with this as a government? What? Is it free? I don't know. I don't even know what it is. It sounds terrific. We don't know what he's talking about. He wants to freeze rents. If you freeze rents, you freeze ambition. You see, capitalism is what fuels benefits. Let me give you an example. If you do a couple of things, if you say, I'm going to make it even easier for landlords, first of all, I'm going to cut the regulation of their other red tape. I'm going to make it very easy for you to build apartments. And if more people build, if you see nothing but cranes or whatever, there's more apartments, more housing available. And they've got to get competitive. They've got to get competitive because other people are doing it. So rents will go down in order to be competitive. I saw it during COVID. During COVID, my God, they were just they cut rents by, you can't believe it. It's math. I am a capitalist. Not that capitalist is always good. No. I don't know why they think You maybe you don't care about people. I keep all the profit. I have no. Okay, sorry. I don't know what kind of a lollipop world you want to live in. This is Mamdani. So anyway, this stuff is bullshit. Trump has come out. Trump said, vote for Cuomo. This is so interesting. Barack Obama came out, never even said he was going to endorse Mamdani. Never said it. Never said it. Linda Hazlitt, ladies and gentlemen, let me close something on here. Let me see something. There she is, my friends. Linda Hazlitt. Linda says, do you believe the election turnout Tuesday, if very big, might come on in Cuomo's favor? Hope so. I you know what? When you see early voting, who are the people? Who are the people that are responsible for getting out early. Who? Who are the people? Are the ones who are they the young people who say, I got to get out there and vote for Mamdani? Or is it the diehard, older, more traditional voter? I don't know. Let me tell you something. I have never in my life, this has been the most fascinating time to be in radio. First of all, the radio station. Let me tell you about these people. You got to believe me when I tell you this. Do you know that our friend, my friend, the management at ABC never told me one time, what's your position about anything? Don't say that. Tone it down. Never. I can't say that about any station I've ever been in. Let me see this. Here we go. Here's a nice one. DDXG says, Lionel, you liar, you know you don't want Curtis to win, or you wouldn't ask Curtis to drop out. You should have asked Cuomo to drop out. You traitor, you don't like Curtis. Why not? Well, Didi, I guess you don't understand something. If you look at the numbers, and if Cuomo drops out, Mamdani wins. If Curtis drops out, based upon the numbers, and if many of those, not all, go to Cuomo, there's a shot. Some people say right now it's far closer than you can think. And I know, Didi, I know that sometimes, when one of the parts about being an adult is you realize that it's not about liking people and I like people. Why don't you drop out? Well, why don't you drop out? That's silly. I know you don't mean this. You're probably a good person, but you just don't know what you're talking about. I personally would like Curtis to win, but he's not. He's not. Now, Curtis against Cuomo might have been a little different. But with these numbers, oh my God. Remember, Mamdani blew him out of the water. This is Cuomo. So I'm telling you right now. But I understand it. And you're a lot of people. There's a lot of anger. They feel that somehow we're being mean to Curtis. He's not your friend. It's like, what are you talking about? What? He's not your friend. Friend? What is this? What are we talking about here? What is this, a playground? I know it's difficult because many people, as you know, don't know anything about politics. They kind of know a little bit about what they think is about likes or dislikes or loyalty, and it's not. Believe me. Oh, I can't. Nobody is going to be. Cuomo said this. Yeah, you won. Good. Because it's about stopping Mamdani. And he knows it. That's it. Now, if you want to be nicey and say, well, I'm going to vote for Curtis, then he wins. Now, do you want that to happen? I don't care. I just want my Curtis. Okay, it's up to you. Sometimes we vote for people that, some people vote for Jill Stein. I voted for Harry Brown one time years ago, who was the libertarian candidate. I understand how it is. Listen, this is tough stuff. It is really, really tough. Soros is connected to Rob Zombie, and I mean, it is. There's no doubt about this. This is serious business. But the problem is dealing with people who, for the longest time, love Curtis. He is a fixture. He is the best campaigner, but it ain't there. Now, if this was, like I said, Mesa, Arizona, or Dallas or something, oh yeah, no problem. But not here. It doesn't work like that. And it's one of those things. And the thing too is we have to figure out how do we go on and how do we recruit new people? How do we recruit young people? See, nobody's thinking about that. What would you tell young people? Let's assume you're a Republican. I'm not, but I am for this purposes. I'm a registered independent, but I vote Republican in this case in the primary, in the general. So my question is, what do you think we should do to tell young people to stay on board? Soul says betting. Hang on a minute, just a second. Yes, betting sites Average Zohran, yes, is a favorite, yes. But remember, those are betting sites. Now, I know that may not mean the same to you, but that's a different story. Betting sites show the same thing for Hillary. I mean, it's done before. Remember, that's about action. That's about the action, not independent. We're showing, because whatever they say, they reflect the action. Remember, if everybody's betting for a particular team, that's the line, not who's going to win. So I understand that. I've always said, if I really think, I really think, if I had to vote, I'd probably, hate to say it, put my money on Zohran. I mean, that's, if I said, look, only because of the earlier numbers, and the fact is I've got no data now to really, base this on. I really don't. I mean, it's a very, very scary thing. But I just want people to understand, you can't be, oh, pay for Gracie. Gracie had surgery today. Oh. Send our love to Gracie. Gracie, we love you. I hope you're watching. Gracie has been, by the way, one of our dear friends, member of the family forever. Please send her my best. Okay? Okay? That's the thing. In any event, my friends, it's really, really tough. So we'll see what happens. Tomorrow, I already voted. I voted for Cuomo. No doubt about it. I put my money where my mouth is. I'm telling you, it's exactly what I'm doing. It's a calculated hedge. That's all it is. It's nothing to do with whatever. Do I like him? Of course not. But he's better than Mamdani. So in any event, thank you for that. Hey, listen, my friends, also got a brand new video up on Lionel Legal about the latest with Diddy. This guy, number one, is going to go, they're going to reverse this. That's why they're jumpstarting the appeal, number one. Number two, I know you don't care about Andrew. This is the biggest freak ever. He is so demented. This is the biggest story ever. Number three, what do you think about them calling to deplatform Tucker because he had on Nick Fuentes? What's that about? What's that about? Because Nick Fuentes is a Holocaust denier? Well, that's not right. But why can't Tucker Carlson have on Nick Fuentes? I don't understand it. Piers Morgan talks to serial killers on a regular basis. I don't think, Nick Fuentes is a serial killer. What's going on here? You don't have to like what somebody says or what they said before. I don't know. I don't understand this. Nick Fuentes and Laurel Loomer and a lot of other people say things that I may not agree with, but so what? Do you know how many black folks tried to talk about the revision of critical race theory in the 1619 project? That was all bullshit too. So I don't know where this stands. And this is not, I am not a Holocaust revisionist by any stretch of the imagination. No way. I saw Yad Vashem. I know what I'm talking about. I'm just, I don't know why somebody is bringing that up now, but I'm a strict constructionist when I believe in the First Amendment. If that's what you think is important, go ahead and say it. Don't mind me if I disagree with you. There's a lot going on. We have to get to the bottom of this. All right, my friends. So you have a great and a glorious and a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Please remember, like this video. We need the likes. We need the likes. And thank you so much for your great, great friends. Thank you for Soul and Linda Hazlitt and Big Dickie Daniels. Thank you. And Freedom. Thank you so much for your kindness. So anyway, my friends, have a great day. Tomorrow it starts. We'll be back tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely one of these days. It's going to be fantastic. What do we have here? Do we have any kind of anger going on here? Oh, I don't know what Dee Dee is saying, but bless her heart or his heart. Dee Dee, you just take it easy, my friend. Might want to maybe seek some therapy, or maybe a nice emollient might help you. In any event, have a great day, my friends. Don't forget to listen tonight, WABC, 1 a.m. to 5 a.m., 77 WABC every night. Be there. Call up, and by the way, tell the screener that you're part of Lionel Nation. All right, my friends, have a great day. Don't ever change. Until then, remember these final words. The monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.